In today's video, guys, I want to showcase a budget-friendly theme for the Grave of Curse in Season 4. We're only gonna use one free legendary that we can get from Season 3, and I really want to showcase Spotlight, one of the new rare characters added in Season 4. Now, you've heard me talking about this character, how he's one of the best rares that they've added since Season 1. First, I just want to say a big thank you to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to get involved, if you want to download the game, you can do so by clicking the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. So, as I mentioned, guys, definitely one of the best rare characters added in the game for quite a while. Now, is a Necrosis character, and I'm talking about Ylindra. Looks badass. And it actually has a very, very interesting kit. With a passive, damage taken reduces by 25%, which will help this character to stay alive. With a battle skill, strikes the enemy twice, each dealing necrotic damage, and heals the hero by 350% of its own attack. With the ultimate skill, moves to the enemy and strikes them 3 times, each dealing attack necrotic damage, dispels 2 buffs from the enemy, with a 100% chance to inflict buff prohibition for 10 seconds. This skill prioritizes the enemy with the most buffs, guys. So it's a very, very nice kit for a rare character. So far, thinking about other characters that were able to remove buffs as rares, hopefully I'm not really missing anyone, to be honest with you guys. But there was only one decent option, if I'm not mistaken, and that was Grover, right? So Grover has a chance to basically steal a random buff. Now, in Season 1, it's fine to use him, right? Not all of the bosses will buff with multiple buffs, so he works just fine. But in Season 4, these bosses buff with 2-3 buffs, okay? And it's very important to try and take down as many as possible. So as I mentioned, we are doing the Grave of Curse in today's video, guys. I am using one legendary character, which was the guaranteed legendary event in Season 3. So it was a free legendary. Everybody that managed the resources wisely was able to get this champion. Because honestly, Season 2, it is how it is. In Season 1 is a bit harder because you're developing your account. Season 3, Season 4, Season 5 is just going to get easier and easier and easier to get these characters. But let me just quickly show you what team we're using. Stage 9, of course. And funny enough, I haven't even used food because I don't have any. And the next thing, we are not using a 5-man elemental affinity team. So none of you guys can blame it on my psychic core being too advanced or anything like that. So as you may notice, we only have 3-man elemental affinity. So this is probably max for the ice and necrosis, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the only ones getting the stats. But I'm only talking about the first 3 lines on the psychic core. Keep in mind, this is Season 4. So the boss itself will actually have a few different tricks up his sleeves. So basically, dispels all debuffs and gains attack up, damage up, and accuracy bonus for 18 seconds. That's what the boss does. Then deals necrotic damage to an enemy and steals 2 buffs from them. Then deals necrotic damage to all enemies. If they possess less than 2 buffs, there is a 100% chance to inflict stun on them for 5 seconds. And Xenos gains 20% recharge progress each time he successfully inflicts a stun on one enemy. So that's pretty nasty. You want to avoid that at all costs. Then each buff possessed increases the recharge speed by 10% on the boss. Each debuff inflicted reduces his ultimate energy recharge speed penalty, by 10%. So it is pretty different this time around. A lot of teams really fail on working on auto, guys. But I'm going to show you a team that works on auto. So basically, there are a couple of different ways on how you can dodge this. Either you bring in 2 buffs. Either you bring in a character that will put basically block crowd control debuffs. And that's why we are using Aladia. So basically, we're going to get, with her ultimate skill, control immunity, and job done. We're going to have decreased attack. We're going to have a bit of an additional shield from her. So everything will run smooth in here. In terms of removing the buffs, we are using, of course, Ylindra with her ultimate skill. I do have the Spiritual Incense Burner on her, just to ensure that I'm constantly going to be able to overlap the boss, basically, or stay in the same cycle. Then Vorash will assist us with the battle skill. Sometimes we might remove all the buffs. Sometimes one of them might be left, but honestly, is not a big deal whatsoever. As the main damage dealer, we have Gertin. She does have the Manticore statue as an artifact. Gatekeeper staff on Garius. We are talking about Season 4. This right here is a free-to-play team, Season 4. In Season 1, it's not free-to-play. In Season 4, it's free-to-play. If you don't have 2 mythical artifacts, something must be going on wrong with your account. Either you pulled every single OP legendary and you're just unfortunate and you don't get any dupes, but it's hard to believe. So basically, that's what we have on. I haven't even leveled up the artifact on her because I don't need to do it. I will have a bit of a skill timing, guys, and basically I don't have anything too crazy. I'm just trying to ensure that Ylindra is going to use the ultimate skill on the same cycle, the same rotation, and the same with her right here. We want to make sure we are putting the control immunity at around 15 seconds inside of the run, because we don't want it to expire on any of the characters, basically. So no food because we don't have any, but let's crack on with the run, guys. Let me just bring the damage up right here, and you're gonna see how this actually plays out. So the boss gained 3 buffs. He is recharging his ultimate energy much faster now. Once we apply the debuffs, we're gonna be able to kind of like combat that. Ylindra going in, removing 2 of the buffs, and now we're waiting for Vorash to see if the battle skill just happens to remove that one. Beautiful. If you are using the arrow artifact, the rare epic artifact on a Vorash, you're basically going to increase the chance to remove buffs with a battle skill, and that's a very good artifact to use on Vorash for this stage right here. But then you will have to give Ylindra most probably the Witch's Remains and a lot of skill haste from the gear set. Again, we remove the increased attack. Beautiful. It's a very nice combination to use Vorash with somebody else that removes buffs, and I'll be very honest with you guys, is definitely going to be needed on some of the other dungeons, like the Ancient Battlefield. Vorash plus a different character that can remove buffs are just so freaking important in the same team. It's crazy. When the boss keeps the increased accuracy, it honestly doesn't matter. Like this one, this time is just irrelevant. Like honestly, it really doesn't matter because we're still gonna be able to survive. The increased accuracy is not gonna make him deal more damage. Plus, we are going to have control immunity, which is fine. Now, he will remove 2 buffs from characters that get hit in the front. In this case, it's going to be our tank. And you see he's getting the stun on. But it's fine. He's kind of like gonna be capped in the same cycle as well, Garius, where he's always using his ultimate at around the same time. So that basically heals the team without me having to do anything on the team preset. Okay, we removed the increased attack right on time. We got the decreased attack down on the boss as well. And as you may notice, Gertin is absolutely demolishing this boss. 53%. You have Vorash with 20% and Ylindra with 14.1. Even though she's not really built for damage, to be honest, I do have a bit of damage on her, but nothing too crazy. So the boss still has that increased damage, which is fine. It's still not doing disgusting damage as long as we have the decreased attack on the boss, you know. And I'm gonna show you the builds on each one of the characters in a second, guys. But there you go, full auto, super simple to make this team, and we got a mythical piece. Let's see, is it a good one or is it a bad one? Okay, HP is not bad. It's definitely not a bad one. Beautiful. So right now, what they've changed in Season 4, guys, you can get legendary and mythical gear dropping at the same time. I feel like it's definitely a pretty good change. Now let me just quickly walk you through the builds, guys, to see what sets we have on each one of the characters. So on Gertin, I actually have Emissary's Whisper set. In terms of stats, honestly, they're nothing too insane. I try to get as much crit rate and crit damage as possible. Her survivability is lacking a little bit, but hey, the main thing that she needs to do in here is demolish the boss, and she's doing the job without a problem. Then we have Ylindra. She is built as well on a shade of that set, but as you may notice, while we do have full crit rate, the attack is pretty low, the crit damage is very low as well. The main thing, I try to ensure that she's going to be able to survive, to make sure that we're going to have enough accuracy, because it's very, very important to make sure that we are removing those buffs. Garius is on an Ancestral Protection set. Intentionally, I haven't actually equipped a mythical piece on him, just to show you that that's not required whatsoever. The stats are pretty good. We have 4.5k defense, good HP on him. The more defense, the more healing, the more shield, basically. Then we have Vorash. We have a serial set. This will increase the attack on all of my characters, including Ylindrash is going to get more healing. Then, of course, we're going to have Gertin dealing more damage. He has the Witch's Remains, and these are his total stats. 90 crit. We have a 3.7k, 3.8k attack almost, and we have a bit of crit damage, nothing too insane. And the last character is Aladia. Now, because I've already used the Spiritual Incense Burner artifact on one of my characters, and I did not want to use the Rift Hourglass on her, I decided just to try and give her as much skill haste as possible. So, I've rolled a couple of legendary pieces to get some skill haste. We have a double roll and a double roll, so it's nothing like triple or quad roll or anything crazy like that. And of course, you gotta go with 2 skill haste sets just to ensure that she's gonna be able to always use her ultimate at around the same moment. Now, even if you start earlier with her and then gradually you're just basically getting overlapped by the boss, I feel like the boss doesn't really take that many cycles to completely overlap Aladia if you don't have so much skill haste. So it's gonna be more than fine, basically. This is anyway an overkill on skill haste because you only need 19 seconds, and I have it down to 17.4. So basically 1.6 seconds in terms of skill haste is getting wasted, and that is literally like almost 60 skill haste. You know, so you don't really, you need the stats and you're pretty much sorted. You know. But that's everything for this team, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I do think that Ylindra is an amazing rare character. This is definitely a very budget-friendly team that you can make for the Grave of Curse in Season 4. Thanks again to all of you guys for watching the video. Thanks to Dragonheir for sponsoring this video. And if you guys want to get involved, you can click on the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment or scan the QR code you see on the screen. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.